Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT Network. This is a show that is everything Broncos, but other topics related. I am your host, Bronco Bill. All right, guys, let's get into this. They got a lot of different directions we're going to go. Obviously, I'm going to recap game one, as pathetic as it was. And then I'm also going to, have some other topics in the middle, and then we'll finish up with my thoughts on game two, first home game of the Broncos in 2022 with Russell Wilson quarterback. And we'll get into all of that as they face the Texans. All right, let's start with last week's game, last Monday night. Here it is. It was penalties. It was two fumbles in the red zone, not by the same running back, but it was with Williams and with Gordon. There's also a 64-yard field goal attempt by a kicker in Brandon McManus. Yes, he has a leg. That is true. But he's never made one more than 61 yards. And he's only one of 8 from beyond 61. Why would you hack it? Why would you do that? Let me remind you guys. Nathaniel Hackett had a perfect exit. A perfect exit. Instead of him looking like he was undecided, instead of him looking like, oh man, I guess that was a bad mistake, I shouldn't have done it. What happened was this. Brandon McManus went out there to kick a 64-yard field goal attempt. Put it that way. And as he kicked the ball, apparently Pete Carroll had called time out. And the kick that McManus made was way wide. Totally. Not even close. So all Nathaniel Hackett had to do was say, whoa, wait a minute. He missed that thing badly. I'm not going to take a chance of him kicking again. I'm going to put in Russell Wilson, my franchise quarterback, to pick up a 4th and 5. Well, right previous to that play or that attempted field goal was Wilson threw a ball to Devonte Williams, and he ran it for, 7, 8, 9 yards. Why couldn't he do it again? Why couldn't there be a play designed to get 5 yards? And Russell Wilson said in his press conference, I heard him. He said he had a play in his head to run. And a reporter asked him what that play was. He said, I'm not going to tell you. I may need it sometime. Well, yeah, that play he could have used in that Monday night game. Am I angry? Absolutely, I'm frustrated. Does that mean that Wilson would have picked up the first down? We had all 3 timeouts. We had over a minute on the clock. Well, until Nathaniel Hackett decided to let all that run down for that preposterous try of 64 yards. Yeah, frustrated. We had that game. Does it all fall on McManus for missing that kick? No, it doesn't, because of the fumbles. The 2 fumbles at the goal line. Is that the offensive line's fault for not blocking? Possibly, yes. But you got to hang on to the cotton-picking ball. You have to. You have to hang on to it. I don't care, I'm trying to reach over and, No, you hang on to it. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Even if we don't score a touchdown there and we kick a field goal, guess what, guys? We win it. We would have won the game, obviously. Then there was penalties. There was a false start on a touchdown that was nullified because of the false start. It's too many mistakes. So that takes me to, and Madungus Creevy is going to shudder when he hears me say this, because he and I have talked numerous times, and he's totally against what I'm about to say. But I'm going to say it anyways. Here goes. After game one's loss, was Hackett's approach to no starters playing in the preseason the right move? My opinion, Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And here's the thing. A lot of people say that, well, that would not have been ironed out in preseason. Well, you don't know. You don't know because they didn't play. All they had to do was play a quarter in the third, or a half in the third game. Why not? Buffalo Bills starters did when they played us. Absolutely, they did. They may not have played a full quarter, but they played enough to get into that game mode that you cannot simulate in practice. I don't care how hard you try, you cannot. Why? Because your own players are not going to try and take you out. They're not. I mean, why would they? But in game action, it's different. You get the chemistry working. You get the you work out the kinks with the noise. I don't know, what am I looking for? So frustrated about this. You work out the kinks. You work out the problems. If it's a noisy stadium, do you work out the problem of miscommunication? And yes, Russell Wilson said he had the headset on. He was listening to plays. He was going over it in his head what he would have done and this and that and everything. Well, why not put him in the game so he could do it? Not just listening and going through in his head. No, physically. And look what happened in game one. What happened, guys? Here it is. I'm going to continue with the article. Some people liked it, meaning the non-preseason by the starters. Some people liked it, but a lot, including most former Bronco players, did not. Here's the reason. Staying relatively healthy would provide the answer. Well, guess what? I got the answer. We have guys injured. 2 of them, key players. Here they are. Justin Simmons was placed on IR yesterday with a quad injury. Miners is out 4 weeks with a hamstring. Both of them did not play any downs in the preseason. And look what happened. Could that have been avoided? Possibly. The way I look at it is this. When you are ready, when you go and play a game where you're playing an opponent, okay? And it's not a game that's counting, but it's a game that gets you into game shape. You cannot get into game shape in practice, especially when there's jogathons like Hackett does once every 3 days. He just has them kind of jog along and, hey, let's just do a walkthrough. It's stupid. Yeah, I understand you got to keep guys healthy, but if you don't tone your body to taking hits or to running, I mean, you think a marathon runner just wakes up one morning and goes, yeah, I think I'll run 26 miles today. Yeah, I feel good. No, he's going to end up getting hurt because he hasn't worked up to it. He hasn't done what he needs to do to get to that 26 miles. And what do they need to do? They need to get into game shape. That means they need to run 5 miles at a time, or maybe start at 1 mile. Then you work up, and finally you get to the 26. Well, that is what preseason's about. Preseason is about working up to game speed. Yes, you have to work out. Yes, you have to go through your practices. I'm not saying you don't. You absolutely have to. But you need preseason to get into that prime shape. And neither Justin Simmons nor Miners played a single down in the preseason. And this is, in my opinion, is the result. Am I right? Well, so far I am, because it's proven to be that way. It's proven by other teams that had injuries. And I'm not saying that every single player on a starter, as a starter on any team, that did not get hurt when they didn't play in any preseason, then they played game 1 and they didn't get hurt. That's okay. I'm not saying that it's a, I don't know. I'm not saying that it's the main formula. What I'm saying is, had these guys played, a lot of things, in my opinion, would have been different. I'm not saying that Simmons would not have gotten hurt in preseason. I'm not saying that. I don't know. But he did get hurt in game 1, and so did Miners. And now they're both out. And they're both out in key games coming up. Justin Simmons is our best safety, period. How's that going to get replaced? And then Miners on our line. Great lineman. How's that going to get replaced? You can't lose these key guys. Now, had they gone down in preseason, would I be upset? Yes. But I think there's a better chance that they don't get hurt in preseason. People say, well, some guys got hurt last year in preseason. That's true. They did. But in my opinion, if you're not in game shape, if you're not in game speed, going against guys that are wanting to take your head off, wanting to, make a statement, and then you go into game one. I mean, this looked like a preseason game to me. I'm sorry, guys, but it did. It absolutely did look like a preseason game to me because of the mistakes. And even Russell Wilson admitted, we made a lot of mistakes out there and we need to correct it. No kidding. And then you've got Nathaniel Hackett in his presser the other day, saying that, we corrected all the mistakes. Really? You corrected them in what, 4 or 5 hours? What do you mean you corrected them? And then he goes, well, we've corrected those mistakes. So, we think we're on the right path now. What? In practice again? We'll see. We'll see come Sunday against Houston. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see for sure, buddy. Absolutely, we'll see. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. You correct the mistakes in game action. You don't correct them on a practice field with, maybe pumped in music and stuff like that. No, you don't do that. You correct them in preseason. And then, yes, when you watch game film and all of that, I understand that. Did the Broncos have a chance to win this game late? Absolutely. But not with a 64-yard field goal attempt, in my opinion. You don't do that. Absolutely not. Not since he has never made one. And I know people are going to say, well, Justin Tucker, he never made a 66-yard field goal before he tried it. Yeah, that was in a dome in Detroit. This was outside in Seattle in a hostile environment. Again, all right, I'm gonna move on, guys. I could talk about this for the entire show, but I'm not going to. All right. Russell Wilson spent 10 seasons in Seattle as a member of the Seattle Seahawks, won a Super Bowl against, of course, the Broncos, and went to 2. So you would think, at least I would think that he would have a resounding, just incredible cheers for everything that he did for that team. Nope. And in my opinion, it was all predicated by Pete Carroll. Yeah, Pete Carroll, the same one that left USC high and dry with all of their problems and stuff. And go, ooh, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to Seattle. See ya. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he basically said, the fans, they know how I feel and they'll do the right thing. So they booed. They booed Russell Wilson. Now, do you think the Bronco fans, the Broncos country, would boo Von Miller if the Buffalo Bills played the Broncos in Denver? I don't think so. I absolutely do not believe we would boo Von Miller. I know I wouldn't. Absolutely, I would not. I love the guy. Thought he's great. Just like when Shannon Sharpe went to Baltimore and we played them. I cheered for him. Absolutely. Of course, I didn't want the Ravens to win. Absolutely not. But that's beside the point. You don't boo somebody who is great on your team. And to me, that speaks volumes about not only the fans of Seattle, but Pete Carroll. He could have come out and said, hey, guys, I know how you feel. You're bummed. You're sad that Russell Wilson is not a Seattle Seahawk anymore. But for everything that he had done for us, for everything that he's done, for what he accomplished here, for what he gave the fans, you people, the 12, for what he gave to this city, to this community, to these fans, to this team, I think everybody should cheer him when he comes out. Nope. Not what Pete Carroll said. And to me, that speaks volumes to his character and to the kind of person that he is. He's just downright hostile, downright ugly to me. That should never have happened. Never, ever, ever should happen. But it did. So I've never liked the Seattle Seahawks. I've never liked their fans. I've never liked Pete Carroll. Now I really don't. And I do hope that they have a losing season. Absolutely. I hope they don't win another game. And they, frankly, shouldn't have won this one. All right, I move on. Okay, let's go to, I feel, and this article here, the snippets from this article, obviously feel the same way. The honeymoon between the Broncos country and Nathaniel Hackett may be over. Here it is. With the Broncos' loss to Seattle last Monday night, it seems the honeymoon with Hackett and the fans could be over. From letting the clock run down to electing for a 64-yard field goal attempt and not allowing Wilson on 4th and 5 to work his magic has left a very bad taste in the mouths of Broncos country. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you only have one time to make a first impression. And what's his first impression? Sure looked like Vic Fangio to me. Sure looked like Vic Fangio Part 2. No doubt about it. If you recall, Fangio was notorious for making ridiculous plays or letting the clock run down or not calling timeout. Hello, Hackett. Not calling timeout. Throwing the flag on stupid calls that you knew weren't going to get overturned. Things like that. Wait a minute. What's the common denominator? Oh, yeah. First-time head coaches. First-time offensive coordinator. First-time quarterback coach. First-time defensive coordinator. Well, not defensive coordinator. I shouldn't tell you. Evero was with the Rams. That's not – okay. You get the point I'm trying to make. You don't make – I mean, come on. We had over a minute to go. And you even have Peyton Manning on the Manning cast go like this. Call timeout, call timeout, call timeout. Screaming at the TV. Hackett lets the clock run down. And I'm screaming in my den at the TV. Call timeout, call timeout. And then when I see McManus come on the field, I'm like, what in the heck are you doing? He's not going to make this. I know. Some people say, well, he only missed it by about a foot. Well, I don't care if you miss it by a foot or miss it by a mile. You missed it. That's the point. And it was short. I don't even think he had the leg. Why? When he missed it the first time, did you not do it? That's why the honeymoon's over. Because everybody in Broncos country knew we were going to win this game. Everybody did. Absolutely everybody did. Except Hackett. Because he puts out a kicker who never made a 64-yard field goal. I know it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse. Well, I'm not going to say horse. Dead Seahawk. Put it that way. And I know I'm constantly banging on this drum. But until the Broncos win a game, the frustration between myself and the team, as well as Broncos country and the team and Hackett, is not going to change. It's not going to change. So we've got to win this coming Sunday, 2 days from now. We have got to win. Or there's going to be a lot of negative energy going through Colorado. Bouncing off the Rocky Mountains, so to speak. It's going to be ugly. But I'll get into what I think is going to happen in that game in a little bit. Let's move on. All right. Now, I could make this person, or this incident, I should say, because I don't know who it is. I can make this the Jackass of the week, but I'm not going to. And the reason why I'm not going to is because I have the Jackass of the week already. It's coming up. All right, listen to this, guys. This is this is just, instead of Jackass of the Week, this is stupid move of the week. Absolutely. And very, very expensive move and stupidity. Absolutely stupidity. Here it is. 8 cars were burned at Dolphin Stadium. What? 8 cars? What is it? What? Somebody's an arsonist? Somebody go out there and just light them on fire? What the heck? What do you mean 8 cars were burned at Dolphin Stadium? I'll explain. Some tailgating fan left a lit grill near a parked car in a parking lot at Dolphin Stadium. And that hot smoking coals caught 8 cars on fire and totaled all of them. Uh-oh. How do they find out who owns it? Oh, think of this. What if the idiot put it near his own car? Why would you do that in the first place? Why wouldn't you have, I don't know, a gallon of water, something to pour on the coals? I mean, if you like, okay, you've got a bowl, you know, I mean, it's a grill. So you're going to have like a bowl, so to speak. Could be square, could be round. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. But you've got some container where the coals are. So if you pour water in there, the water's going to sit there. It's going to chill the coals and put it out. Nope, not this idiot. Not this idiot. Let's go put it. You know, I don't want anybody to steal my grill. So I'm going to put it next to the car. Well, that's smart. Yeah, that's real smart. Come on. It was windy that day. Maybe it blew it over. And the coals landed underneath the car by a tire. Maybe there was paper under there. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm just giving out my thoughts and my comments. But it torched 8 cars and totaled all of them. Okay, so let's say you go to the game. You're having a good time. Okay, you're nowhere near, you know. I mean, I don't know. You're at the game. You're having fun. You come out, and you're looking for your car, and you're like, wait a minute. I parked it. Let's see, I parked it over there. What the heck? My car's burned. Now what? Yeah, all because you had one stupid idiot. Not thinking, not using his head. Well, you know, maybe I should put this out. You think? Maybe you should have put it out like 15, 20 minutes prior to you going into the stadium. Why don't you do that? Why don't you pour the water in there, let it sit, let it cool down the coals to where you could physically pick them up with your hand. Nope. I think I'll just leave it by a car. Yeah, nothing's going to happen. Come on, what's going to happen? Oh, snap. 8 cars. Yeah. And you know what? I hate to wish ill will on people, but when they do it to themselves, then yeah, I got to make a point of this. Hopefully, this is going to sound harsh, but I'm going to say it anyways. Hopefully, one of those cars that burned was his own. Maybe he'll think twice the next time to doing something that stupid. And my other hope is that the other 7 people or 7 cars that got burned, hopefully all of them had insurance, proper insurance to get it covered. Is it sad? Absolutely it's sad. Is it preventable? 100%. I just explained it. But wow, can you imagine coming out of the stadium after watching your team win, because the Dolphins did beat the Patriots, and you see that your car is destroyed? Yeah, that would ruin an absolutely great day. No doubt about it. All right, let's move on. Now we're getting to, that's right, guys, the Jackass of the week. And guys, this is sad. This is extremely sad in so many ways. So many ways. Here it is. Brett Favre, in an investigation involving money meant for Mississippi families in need, instead was diverted to Brett Favre for a volleyball stadium to the tune of $1 million. Now, hold on a second. Mississippi is the poorest state in the entire United States. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Brett Favre lives in Mississippi. He had, he'd grown up there. His daughter went to the school and played volleyball. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Whoa. Yeah. The money was diverted so that Brett Favre could have his name associated with the new volleyball stadium. Oh, but that money was meant to go to families in need. So how did all this happen? I'll keep reading. Favre, let me back up. Okay. Favre text a nonprofit founder, Nancy New, that's her name, Nancy New, the following. This is Brett Favre in a text to the founder of this nonprofit organization that is, it's there to help, families in need. But this is what Brett Favre's texture. Will the media, and I quote, will the media find out that we're using welfare funds intended to help the poorest residents of America's poorest state to build a volleyball center? End quote. Okay, wait a minute. If Brett Favre is texting this person, then he knows he's doing something wrong. But he apparently doesn't care. He's made millions as an NFL football player. And his off the field endorsements and things of that nature. He's made millions. And now he's asking, will the media find out? Ooh, wait a minute. Will the media find out that we're using welfare funds that are intended for the poorest families in the poorest state? Listen to New's response. Nancy New. Listen to her response. And I quote, nah. Oh, yeah, the governor is fully on board with this. End quote. The who? The governor? Oh, my gosh. Oh, really? Wow. Holy smokes. I continue. Also, Favre was given $1.1 million for speeches he never gave. Oh, so now that's embezzlement. Now he's taking money for things he never did. This guy is bad. Bad news. Bad news. Absolutely bad news. Says, he did, however, repay that $1.1 million, but he hasn't repaid the $228,000 in interest and could be taken to court if he doesn't repay that. Talk about Jackass of the Week. If you remember, guys, when Brett Favre was playing, everybody used to toot his horn. John Madden couldn't say enough great things about him. Oh, he comes from a small town in Mississippi. He's he's a Mississippi guy, loves the state. He does all this kind of stuff for him and all these things and this, that, and the other thing. Yeah, he does a lot of things in Mississippi, like take money for speeches he never took or never said. And now he's taking welfare funds for a volleyball stadium / center, whatever. And all the while, you have these poorest of poor people in the poorest of states in the United States without. Because Brett Favre is that kind of guy. I mean, how does he wake up in the morning and look in the mirror? Well, he may be looking in a mirror in jail somewhere. I mean, think about it, guys. What kind of a person does that? Well, there you go. That's the kind of person that does it. Brett Favre. And from now on, like I am with all jackasses of the week, from now on, anything that Brett Favre does, I hope blows up in his face. I absolutely do. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Was he a great football player? Yes. This is not what I'm talking about. Talking about how in heaven's name do you do this? How do you do this to the people that you say you love because you love Mississippi? How do you do it? You do it because Brett Favre is that kind of guy. That kind of guy. Low life, down to the scum of the earth. Absolutely. No, I have no intention or interest in Brett Favre ever again. I never did to begin with. I didn't like him on the Packers for sure. I'm just glad we beat him in Super Bowl 32. Now looking back, oh, that's even more sweet now. Even more sweet now. Absolutely. Love every minute of it. In fact, I might go back and watch that game later on today just because I want to see us kick his butt again. Anyways, so that's it, guys. That's the Jackass of the week. In fact, in my opinion, it could be the Jackass of the decade. How do you do that to people? I mean, basically, he looked him in the eye and said, I don't care about you. I say I do, but I don't. Actions speak louder than words. Brett, what a piece of work. What an absolute piece of work. And so, from Brett Favre, we go to Deshaun Watson. That's it. Okay, that Deshaun Watson's done. Because got to always mention him because he's always in the news somewhere. Anyways, all right. We're going to wrap this up, guys, with Game 2 at home against the Houston Texans. Now, Houston tied Indianapolis Colts 20-20 in Game 1 last Sunday. The Texans led most of the game, but late turnovers allowed the Colts to eventually tie, go to overtime, and then nobody scored in overtime, so the game's tied 20-20. Why is that significant, that the number 20? Because Denver didn't score 20. Denver didn't even score 17. They could have, but they made too many mistakes. Now, Denver's at home. This is the game that Nathaniel Hackett can make amends to a sort. Houston and Indy tied 20-20. Indianapolis is, considered to be the front runner to win that division. Houston's considered not to be that good, period. We'll find out come this Sunday, 2:25 Mountain Time, 1:25 Pacific Time. Will this game be different than the Seattle game? Well, let me give both sides of the coin, okay? Yes, it can be. No, it can't. And here's the reason. If Houston plays their game like Seattle did, Denver's in trouble. And the reason why I say that is this, because we'll find out. We'll find out if those mistakes have been corrected. What mistakes? Penalties. Obviously, they're probably not going to get delay a game because they're at home and the fans are going to be a lot quieter than they were in Seattle. And I understand Seattle's game was different because you had the emotions of the fans not welcoming Wilson with open arms or booing him. That cascaded down like crazy all night. Then you have the loud, raucous just noise that Seattle fans produce. Then you had the penalties, the non-preseason game by starters. Again, I'm bringing that in. Yes, I am. And all of that. So if Houston could do what Seattle did, minus the noise and all of that, then yes, this game could be ugly again. However, the flip side of that is this. Denver's at home. Denver's not going to have that loud noise against them. It'll be against Houston, obviously, but not against Denver. And I know it's Wilson's first game at home. He's never played there. There's going to be emotions with that as well. But I believe he'll have it in check. If the Broncos did correct those mistakes in penalties and the mistakes of not hanging on the ball in critical situations, then yes, Denver should win this game. Do I think it's going to be a blowout? I don't know. I really don't think so because they couldn't blow out Seattle. I'm not so sure they can blow out Houston. Do I think Denver will win this game? Yes. I thought Denver was going to win last week. But the Broncos will only win this game if Nathaniel Hackett learned what not to do in critical situations. You don't pay a franchise quarterback $246 million extension and then put him on the bench for a guy to kick a 64-yard field goal that's never made one more than 61. You don't do it. If Hackett learned and the mistakes have seriously been corrected, then yes, the Broncos will win this game. All right, what do I think the score will be? Here it is. I say Denver wins 20-17. Yes, there's that number again, 20. This time, Denver's going to have 20, Houston 17. Not a blowout. And hopefully, and I know I said it's 2017, but I don't want it to come from a field goal late in the game. I don't want that. I want Denver to have the lead, hanging on to it, and winning going away, so to speak. Maybe it's 20-10. And late in the game, and then Denver gets up a late touchdown, and then they get the ball and they run the clock out. I don't know. I'm just saying 20-17 Denver this coming Sunday, 2 days from now. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And if you have not, please do so. All of us here at MHRT Network will appreciate it. Tell your friends, hit the thumbs up button. And just remember, guys, that I bring everything Broncos. I bring with passion. I bring with emotion. That's not going to change, win, lose, or tie. All right, guys. Before I get out of here, let me remind you of the other shows on the network. There's a 5280 podcast that goes live every Tuesday, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's live. Madungus Creevy, Glenn Hauser, Cam, and Boggins. And then on Wednesday, it's the Wild Wild West show. That features a fan from every AFC West team: Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, and Chiefs. That's live every 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, and 7:30. Don't miss it, guys. It's a barn burner that's back and forth. You can imagine the bantering that goes back and forth. So don't miss that show. Excuse me, guys. And then on Friday, it's this show, Broncos Breakdown, hosted by me, Bronco Bill, drops every Friday, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Thanks again, guys, for watching. Enjoy your rest of your weekend, and let's get a win from the Broncos on Sunday. I will have a recap and other news next Friday. Until then, guys, take care.